masters. Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken cave.
Hey guys, Weed Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. So what I got here is more footage of the PROXnova build based around EBOTD. So I guess generally I kind of make content for people who already play this game. And you might go, well, that doesn't make sense. To me, it does because I basically make content for people who already know something about Necromancer because this actually can be pretty. Diablo 2 is a 20-year-old game and it runs at 25 frames per second, okay? So generally, some of the quickest moves in the game are 5 frames, okay? Like for speed running, you don't even get that fast, right? We're talking about 10 frames at 25 frames a second. So we're playing a game where some of the hardest things we do are 1/3 of the second, okay? People do frame perfect tricks in 60 FPS games consistently. So just get that out of the water. Like if you're good at this game, hey, you probably are pretty good. You're better than other people. But to be honest, it's not saying that much. All right, you're playing a 20-year-old game on a private server. Like me, I'm the Skeleton King. You know how many people care about that? 5? Maybe that's an overestimate. All right. So that's why I make content for people who kind of already know something, because the only thing that there really is to Diablo 2 is there's a lot of depth to it. That's kind of why people who play Diablo 2 like it more than D3, because D3 is, and I don't even know if you can call it skin deep. It's pretty light. There are good things about it. Hey, I used to play D3 a lot. I've always thought about doing one more Greater Rift run for a season, but I know what the game is. I like Epiphany. That's it. And let's move on. We don't need to go somewhere else. So first, you have to understand how poison works, and the reason why that's important is because people were wondering, like, well, can you use this with Poison Strike? I don't think so, because the Poison Strike will probably end up doing more damage than the auto-cast Poison Nova. So I kind of have to go into a concept I don't want to talk about because it's kind of, what's the word for it? I don't even know if I explain it properly. But there's resources out there like Amazon Basin that are still incredibly accurate, even for PD2. In general, if there's any sort of core mechanic, like Amazon Basin is still right. And like if you go into any discussion for a chat room in the Discord and you reference, hey, Amazon Basin says this, is this still true in PD2? I guarantee you people will be very open to helping you. People might not be open to helping you if you say, I got new build, good, help me, and then you don't take any of our advice anyways. Sorry, I kind of went on a rant. Someone complained about me ranting in another video, so maybe that's why I'm ranting so much. I don't know. You know what I'm talking? You know what I'm saying. You guys know about spite. The Skeleton King. Look, I'm based around Lazarus, okay? King Lyric and his little sorceress Lazarus, okay? I'm literally spite defines who I am, okay? So poison, how does it work? The highest damage poison based on duration. Okay, that's very important. So like, if you have 1,000,000,000 poison damage, but it's over 1,000,000,000 seconds, and then you have 100 poison damage over 1 second, the 100 poison damage over 1 second overwrites it. If I am wrong about that, I apologize so much. Like I said, I really shouldn't talk about this because I'm not even an expert on some of these mechanics like this. I'm a necromancer, okay? I don't play poison builds, all right? The only people who play poison builds are PvPers because like the only place they ever had any sort of use, especially like in maybe some low-level dueling and crap like that, random, Zons and stuff. So the reason I cast Desecrate is not because I want Desecrate to do damage. And funny enough, I think Desecrate does almost as much damage as my Poison Nova. The reason why that's a problem is that would mean that my Desecrate overwrites the Poison Nova. I don't want it to do that. This build works in that if I, the player, has to kill something. By the way, there is something unconfirmed I wanted to bring up because it seems like it happens sometimes, but it's hard for me to know. Not if my Merc or summons kill something, but literally specifically this. If my Iron Golem, which I made out of the Plague rune word for cleansing, which is an awesome rune word, but I actually think Insight is better for this build because it's so mana hungry. You'd go, why is it mana hungry? You just warp around, okay, and cast Lower Resist. Well, Lower Resist actually costs a shit ton of mana. I could probably cast it less. I could probably optimize my play a bit. But honestly, picking up pots sucks, and I probably would have to spam pots because I need to worry about LA life after each kill and mana after each kill. I got to worry about FHR, FBR, FCR. Basically, although I don't have to worry about plus skills too much and some of the normal things any character build worries about, I still need to hit all of these frame datas. I still need to get poison pierce and poison damage percent. So it actually is a really fun build. And I'm playing this video because this is when I feel like I started to get better at the build. So it's a good map for me to show my progression in play and then go from there. So by the way, this build actually is super fun to watch on this boss. Another reason I made it. I really wanted to make one more jungle map, but I just ran out of time in this season. But like, it's really satisfying to play this build and kill the Great Worm just one time because there's so many maggots that all die. All right, back to how poison functions in PD2. Again, something I don't want to talk about. Oh, by the way, the Iron Golem. If the Iron Golem Plague kills something because the Iron Golem Plague cast a spell, I swear if his spell kills something, it will proc my Poison Nova. Nothing else will do it, okay? But I really think when my Iron Golem, and he's using Plague, and it would proc its little abilities, I think I would get a Poison Nova from that. But by the way, he didn't kill that often, and that situation didn't come up very often. So it's hard to say for sure, but it seemed like, I don't think I desecrated very recently, and yet I just got a Poison Nova. It's hard to say for sure. So basically, I use any ability from myself, desecrate, and I want to kill just one enemy. From that point on, I want to chain these Poison Novas. What's the plus side? The plus side is Poison Nova does not gain damage from plus skills very much. What's the other plus side? Well, Poison Nova scaling was just nerfed more in the Season 5 beta. So this build actually gets relatively better. And you'd go, well, why is that? Well, because the level 20 Poison Nova should actually do a bit more damage than it does now, even though 20 to 28 and 28 plus got nerfed so hard. So this build will actually have a slightly higher base Poison Nova, and will have access to 4% large charms. What am I saying? I'm saying I really think this build, which it's already viable now if you have very good gear, not even just a 6-Ock. I'm going to show this build working with Bramble well. I'm not going to say it works as good with the 6-Ock. It's just you can't compete with this item. This item is one of the greatest things that the game's ever had. Like 6-Ock armor, broken. But when we go into next season and you get poison gear, you can build this with an inventory full of large charms, 4% large charms, and you will do better than this Necromancer. You just cast your Desecrate, and then you start running around. Now, small minions will die from one Poison Nova, even in a T2. The big minions won't. So you kind of got to... You can kind of let them take more Poison Nova ticks, or you can kind of just run past them. Again, it's all about density, guys. Skelly King out. GG.